myself Dr. Kirti, Assistant Professor, Physiotherapy Department, RPMS. Today we'll discuss about the exercises to improve the muscle performance and functional control of the hip joint. During return to functional phase of intervention, when moderate to minimum protection of tissue healing is necessary, patient must develop or learn to control the hip movement with good trunk stability. So now we'll discuss about the open chain or non-weight bearing exercises for the hip joint. Now first, to develop control and increase the strength of the hip abductors. So the main hip abductors are gluteus medius, gluteus minimus and tensor fascia lata. So first we will do in the supine position. This is the easiest position, or we can say we have the advantage of this position because there is no effect of gravity, or gravity is eliminated in this position. So we will ask the patient to abduct the hip joint. In this way we can do the hip abduction. Or during the manual muscle testing, if the grade is less than 3 out of 5, means very poor hip abductors, in that situation we can perform or start with this exercise, and then we can progress with like adding the weight on the ankle joint also. Or if the patient is not able to progress to the side leg position, then we can also place the sandbag here on the lateral aspect of the thigh, or weight on this ankle joint, and then the patient will be able to perform this exercise. Now moving towards the side leg abduction. With the lower extremity flexed for the stability, and the patient will abduct the hip with slight extension and neutral pelvis in this way. We can also add the weight to this here on the ankle joint also, to increase or to provide the resistance to improve the strength of the hip abductors. Now, in the standing position, we will ask the patient to abduct the hip with the neutral pelvis, and also will ask the patient to avoid high kick. So in this way we can do the hip abduction in the standing position. Now to develop, control or increase the strength of the hip extensors, the main hip extensor is the gluteus maximus along with the rectus femoris sartorius. And now we will ask the patient to flex the knee, and in this supine position we will ask the patient to contract the buttocks. We can do this in this position, and also in the prone position we can perform this exercise. Now the next exercise would be the quadruped position. Come in the quadruped position. Quadruped on 4. Yes. On hand. Yes. Now in this position we will ask the patient to extend like this. In this way we will ask the patient with the neutral pelvis. We will ask the patient to extend the hip alternatively. Now in the standing position, for the hip extensors we will ask the patient to extend the leg with neutral pelvis, and also don't allow the patient or individual to hide the pelvis. So in this way we can strengthen the hip extensors. We can also add the weight to the lower ankle joint also. Now return to the neutral position. Okay. Now to develop the control or to increase the strength of the hip flexors, we will do this in the supine. So in this position, we will ask the patient to flex hip and knee and slide the heel on the couch. So in this way we can strengthen the iliopsoas, which are the main hip flexors. Now slide again. So in this way we can strengthen the iliopsoas muscle. Another way of strengthening the iliopsoas will be in the standing position. Come in the standing position. With the hip and knee flexed, the patient will place the foot on the stool. Place and then again return to the floor. Again, we can do this bilaterally. So in this way we can strengthen the iliac vas in the standing position. Now, to develop control and increase the strength of the external rotators, in the prone position we can strengthen the external rotators. So, with the hip and knee flexed, the patient will we can say do the resistance towards the heel in this way. Now come to the original position. Now in the sideline position we can also strengthen the external rotators. Come in the sideline position. So with the upper extremity slightly extended and the foot slightly outward, we will ask the patient to abduct in this way. So we can also strengthen the external rotators, and same in this sideline position with the hip and knee partially flexed. The patient will move the upper leg like this outward. We can, this is also known as the clamp exercise. So in this way we can also strengthen the external rotators. Thank you.